can stop you from being deceived. If you try to find out what's up my sleeve, you can figure out what a bag of means. If you try, nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from nothing can stop you from being deceived. Nothing can stop you from being deceived.
What up, what up, what up?
What's up, boy?
Man, getting to it.
What's
Look like
good
Boston
with
came to play, man.
Oh, they done already got
It came
started?
on at 7. Cusco Drake, Pink Barbie,
Yeah.
Barbie Pink, whatever. Off cuss, what's the knowledge?
Yeah. Man, you see me up here, bro.
Hey, look, I just, Rob just cut mine all the way down, bro. It was so long.
They cut it off.
I could have, like, I was able to stick a pick in it and hold a pick. Like, it's,
Yeah.
It was over with. It was time to go. It's time to go.
I figured I was gonna wait until the week of the expo to go ahead and cut everything. I'm gonna do the cuss by Reggie. Reggie said he wasn't doing.
Big Mike Smoke,
Just
what's going on?
do what it
I'm
do.
still am though, cause I figured by the 19th, this is it grow out pretty
Your
fast.
hair grow, don't it?
I got something planned for the show with the beard though. The beard, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? A little something, little marketing tactic. You feel me? Like you gotta make it all work for you, for real.
No doubt. Yeah,
Getting
what's the
to
word,
it,
man?
man. Getting to it. Troy
Everything
J. King, what's going on?
What's
Where's
up?
your
What's
hair? It's gone,
up?
man. I cut it off, man. I'm sticking here for a little while. You know, it's the new look. Hold on, right? It's the
rap.
skin on the side for me. You feel me? But hey, I was sitting around.
Man,
I've been sitting around
man,
all day today. Let me turn on.
Okay.
I've been sitting around all day today thinking about different topics we can talk about, right? Different things that we can discuss. And I came up with some good ones, man. They're not necessarily as thought-provoking as yours. It's more so experience-based stuff that we go through as barbers, stuff. I think not just as barbers, though, just stuff that we go through in life in general, right? So before we jump into that, everybody in the comment section, everybody that's watching, we appreciate y'all joining us. Cut by Curse, what's going on? If you can, while you in the comments, JB chilling, what's going on? Send out 2 invitations, just 2 invites to 2 people to join the live. And we're going to get this thing popping off. Right. And this is going to be an interactive live. This live is not just for us, you know what I mean? It's for everybody. If you have opinions, if you have questions, if you have feedback, absolutely. Anything you want to say, anything is for anything is worth something. So say something. Shoot questions. Drippo Falla, I think I'm saying it right. Drippo Falla, Drippo Fella. CT gonna be lit. CT is definitely gonna be lit. CT is gonna be out of control. I've been seeing more push and marketing and advertising from CT than I've ever seen for any barbershop. So that thing gonna be fire.
Yeah, they getting cracked.
Matter of fact, while we on here, CT, if you're going to CT, put a thumbs up. Put them thumbs up. Put them thumbs up. Put them thumbs up. Right. Put my thumb up. Put my thumb up because I'll be first time this year.
Yeah.
Put that thumb up. Find the thumb. Where's my thumb? Oh, there it is.
What's up, Heck? What's good?
Oh,
hey, Heck been rocking with us too.
That's good people, bro. Yeah. Hey, Heck. I don't know why when we had you on the live, man, I thought you was like 8 feet tall, bro. I seen your pictures, man. I seen your photos. Heck, we about the same height, bro. I thought you was about 8.5 feet tall, bro.
How tall are you?
I'm sipping on bourbon, man. You know, bourbon is my thing of choice, man. My thing of choice, man.
Okay. I had me a nice little scotch this past weekend, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick a bottle up, and that'll be my little Friday, man. I used to get it in and then cut back.
Yeah. I like the scotch, man. I like the peated stuff though. The smokier.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's what's up.
What I was thinking about while I was in the shop, right? One of the topics is how are you dealing with, and what is your feeling? And this is public. It's for everybody. How are you dealing with, and what are your feelings towards people showing up late for their appointments?
It's crazy. As I was cutting the grass, I was thinking around the same thing. What my thing was around the same topic. What do we consider, what does a barber consider late to the point where I'm done and you can't get in my chair, you got to rebook. I try to be as prompt as possible, right? Stick to schedule. We all have those days where we're running behind. I'm pretty, I ain't gonna say lax, but I can respect the person being late if they communicate with me and if it's something that they don't do on a regular basis. But if you have some people you have that take advantage, and every time they book, they're late, I have a problem with that. And to the point I found my son had to show me on Booksy where you can go block the client where they can't book no more. And I've had a couple that I've had to get to that. Just don't take advantage.
I agree with you. I think that it gets to a point where it's abusive, right? It gets to a point where, and
right.
Of course, as a barber, you think long and hard about this. Before you block anybody, you consider long and hard how you feel about blocking them, right? And my purpose, my reason for blocking people is this, right? I'm not gonna assume that you are doing what you're doing on purpose, because I don't know. I don't know what your life entails. I don't know how many things you got going on. Right. But what I can assume is that you haven't put your life in order enough where it fits within the standards that I set for myself with business. And once you become so disruptive that you're being late, it's constantly putting me behind, it's constantly forcing me to have to work harder and faster to catch up, or it's constantly putting me in a position where the people who showed up on time is looking over at the chair at me like, damn, I'm here, but you ain't never on time. Now you're creating a poor representation for me. That's a false narrative on who I am, false on what I do.
Right.
Once it gets to that point, then it's like, okay, yeah, this ain't working out no more. And for most people, if I feel like I can have that conversation with you and it's going to be communicated without stress, but I'm not stressing for nobody. Right. If I feel like I can't have that conversation with you, or it's not going to be received well, or you going to be problematic, I'm just going to block you. I'm just not going to be available to you no more. But yeah, it's definitely one of them things that I've noticed. I saw DJ Cut It posted something earlier this week where he was talking about basically along the lines of not DJ Cut It, Tank be chopping, along the lines of how to go about and when to decide when is the appropriate time to fire a client. And I think a lot of barbers don't like talking about it because it's an uncomfortable conversation if you go that route and try to have that conversation with the potential to be fired client. But also it feeds into your fear of, as barbers, the last thing you want is somebody to badmouth you to other potential clients. So a lot of times we'll put up with a lot of frustrating, counterproductive characteristics and personalities just so we don't put ourselves in a position where somebody's going to badmouth us to other potential clients and we're not going to, be disruptive to ourselves. But I feel like I'm at that point where I hate to say it, but you say what you want to say about me. The people who know me know what it is. And the people who don't know me, who take what you say and run with it, I don't want to know them no way because they're not willing to come and find out for themselves. So somebody who's that type of person, badmouth, all they doing is saving you the grief of having to fire more future clients.
Right. And a lot of them don't understand, like, one late person will throw your whole day off. It's a domino effect. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them don't realize, oh man, you know, you just take me up and line me right quick. Like, dude, like, come on. First and foremost, I have standards for myself, so I'm not getting ready to just rush through your head.
KB Cuts, James,
you know what I mean?
Johnson,
I sit you down,
bro. That's my personal trainer down there, James. That's the guy who be trying to kill me in the gym down there, James.
Okay. That's what's up. So you got somebody you get them there with. Okay.
Lifelong mentor, life mentor, man. And he happens to be a bodybuilder. So yeah, he tries to assassinate me in the gym, man. Every time we go to the gym, he done concocted another torture device on the other side. Yeah. Definitely.
And they're working it out.
But yeah, you're right, man. A lot of times people don't see it from that perspective. They don't understand how, you know what, let me ask you this. This is for everybody again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand how important minutes are until I became a barber. Minutes will change the trajectory of your whole day. Your whole minutes. I'm talking about 5 minutes, 6 minutes will shift your whole day, because I never considered it from the perspective of, if you got 5 heads lined up back to back to back, 5 heads in a row, if that first head is 5 minutes behind, it puts the next head 5 or 6 minutes behind, which puts the next head 6 or 7 minutes behind, which puts the next head 8 or 9 minutes behind. By the time you get to your 6th head, you 20 minutes behind. Once you get to 20 minutes, you can pretty much forget about lunch. Ain't no lunch happening. That's dead. Once you forget about lunch, now you standing up and you may have had 12 heads for the day. You ain't took no break all day. You ain't ate nothing all day. Then your last head come in, and it's just it takes away your patience for it, bro. Like, I would say that barbering has definitely diminished my patience for people, bro. It has. I don't have no patience for people no more.
So for me, one of the things that kind of put things kind of back in order is the fact that I don't do walk-ins, right? So for me, I had those days where I didn't eat lunch and things of that nature, and my wife, she used to get at me like, hold on, man, you've been in the shop all day. You've been there 10, 11 hours, 12 hours, and you ain't ate nothing? Like, hold on. One night, we laying in bed. She takes my phone. She gets on my booksy, and she puts in a lunch. You don't have lunch from now on. She said, I ain't telling you got to be an hour, but you're going to have a lunch from now on. And so it's imperative for me, because as I get older, like, I don't eat and sit, man, my body is shutting down. I start moving slower, and so, but sometimes I have to show people, Shy, like, people think sometimes that you just joke when you show them, look, I have a really full schedule, and if you're throwing me, so I have to show them, like, look at this. And then when they see it, they're like, damn, like bro, you booked it. I'm like, yeah, it's not something I'm making up. I take your time serious, and I take everybody else's time serious. So understand, I have a schedule. You have to stick to it. And even some of the guys that haven't been good at it definitely have gotten better at respecting my time, man. So for me, that booksy has been
shout
amazing.
out I Am the Barber Plug. What's going on, my boy? Barber Plug in the building. That you jumping on. We got Kenny Jinx in the building. Kenny Jinx, what's going on? Part of that I Cut My Way Out film, locked all the way. These cuts, 615, what's going on? These the white cuts, what's going on? The white. And Barbara Pink Barbie said, nobody wants a hungry boy cutting their head. You sure don't. You don't. Let me tell you something. If I'm hungry and my lower back, that lower part of my back is hurting, you got this many, matter of fact, you got this many times to move. And I'm putting that monkey paw right on the top of your, don't move, bro. Don't move, bro. I'm tired and my back is hurting. But
Oh,
I think you 100% right, bro. And what's crazy is even with scheduling a lunch break, that doesn't always solve that problem though. Because let's say you do schedule a 1 hour lunch break for yourself to get off your feet, of course, right? To eat something, to consume something, and do what you need to do. If first head of your day is 7 minutes late, because I have a 5-minute grace period. The first 5 minutes is free, right? Because traffic happens, things happen. Especially if you call and communicated with me. You get a total of 10 minutes. After 5 minutes, that first 5 minutes, I start charging you $2 a minute. Once you get to 10 minutes, I cancel your appointment. You're 100% responsible for the money that 5 minutes put in. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's $10. In addition to the cost of the haircut, you're 100% responsible for that before you can ever book with me again. You can never book with me again. If you don't pay it, that's cool. Find another barber. You can't book no more. You showed me that you have no respect for my time, right? However, I find myself in situations where they might be 8.5 minutes late. 8.5 minutes, according to the letter of the literature of my policy, I still got to take you, right? But here's what come with 8.5 minutes late. 8 minutes late come with a head for the Murrays. They just got off work, so they sweaty. They don't know what they want. They've been all day. You've been walking around with your head all day. Get to the barbershop. You know you got an appointment to come to the barbershop. Sit in the chair. You have no idea what you want to do to your head. So now you want to spin the chair around to the mirror so you can look at yourself like you don't know what you look like to decide what you want. So now you wasted another 6 minutes trying to figure out what you want. At this point, I'll book you for a 45-minute appointment. You've wasted 8.5 minutes getting here. You wasted another 4 minutes deciding what you want. All this is adding up. So by the time I done washed the Murrays out your head, figured out what you want, executed the cut, get it done, I'm 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 14 minutes behind on my next head. And again, that adds up. That's the first cut of the day. That adds up. And I've experienced where you get that happen and you get to your lunch break, you ain't got time for it. You don't have time to take a lunch because your next head is in there. They sitting there waiting. So what do? If it's time for your lunch, your scheduled lunch, somebody in the beginning of your day that put you behind the cut right before your lunch is in waiting for you. Now you got to make a decision. Do I cut them on my lunch break? Or do I tell them, hey, hold up, give me a minute. I need to sit down and eat. Either way it go, something's being sacrificed. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
With that in mind, with that experience in mind, that burned a memory in my mind. So now I pay attention to what you do. Personally, if you come in late, I've made up in my mind I'm not cutting your hair. I'm just going to let you sit in here and watch me cut everybody else hair. And then I'm going to tell you when you're done. I'm dead serious, bro. It's petty, and I don't recommend nobody else do this. I'll let you sit there and wait, bro. I just give me a minute. I'll get you in. Now I'll let you wait, and I'll cut 4 heads, 5 heads, 6 heads, and be like, I ain't gonna be able to get you today, bro. I gotta go. Because I feel like that's how you did my time. So I'm gonna play with your time. For real. Straight up. You play with, we'll play with. Hey, what they say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, bro. For real.
Yeah, so and one of the things that really I think cemented some of the nonsense was like, okay, you missed an appointment, no call, no show, you pay the cost of the haircut before you can get in the chair. Once they start to see you ain't playing games, sometimes, you got people, get in their feelings, but it is what it is. Either
honestly,
you pay it or you don't come back.
Care no more. I used to care about that, like when I first started barbering and yada yada yada. I cared about that. It was like, nah, I don't want nobody to have no bad experience, and nah, I'll just, you know what I'm saying. I can eat when I get home. And hey, where I am now, as far as how long I've been doing this, like we talking about 4.5 years. Them first 2 years, my right hand, listen, bro, my right hand of God. Like, anybody who know me, anybody on this live who know me, anybody on this live who's ever gotten a haircut by me, that first 2 years, I did not take lunch breaks. I would cut from the first head to the last head. And I would eat when I got home, I would eat later. My break was getting done with a head early and sit down. Or no call, no show. Those were my breaks. My right hand of God on my auntie grave, my first 2 years I cut. Like, even when I was in school, bro, like, I cut from the time I get there to the time I leave, no breaks. So I did that for 2 years. Then I started cutting in the shop. Now I'm cutting how I'm cutting now. I'm at a point in my life where if you don't understand that you not going to play with my time, I'm not going to have no understanding to explain it to you, bro. I'm going to treat you how you treat. The energy you come with is what I'm giving you back. You don't come with no respect of time. I'm not giving you no respect of explanation. Nah, you good, bro. Go sit down. You can go sit down and wait. Honestly, I didn't even have the most bogus thing I ever did, and I don't even feel like it's bogus because the dude showed up. He showed up 36 minutes late for a 45-minute appointment, bro. He showed up 36 minutes late for a 45-minute appointment, right? And then when he got there, he was upset that I wouldn't cut his hair. So the audacity, you 36 minutes late for a 45-minute appointment, bro. Right? So I'm like, I bet. I'm going to play stupid like you going to play stupid. I'm like, I bet. Let me get these next 2 in, and I got you. Hold up, I got you. Now, mind you, his haircut is right around closing time. Everybody that know me know that after closing time, the price go up. I don't care who you are, the price go up. If I have to spend time away from my daughter, away from my wife, away from my rest, away from my time costs more than your time, right? When the operating hours are 9 to 6, that's your time. The price is what's convenient for you. After 6 o'clock, that's my time. The price is what's convenient for me. And it ain't be cheap. If I got to stay away from my daughter, I got to stay away from my crib, I can't eat, I can't see my wife. By the time I get home, my baby sleep. Like A said in that podcast, it's gonna cost you some peace, my boy. It's gonna cost you some peace. So I had him sit down. He's 36 minutes late for a 45-minute appointment. All right, bro, go ahead. Hold up. I got you. Since you got an attitude and you just insisting on getting your haircut, say less. I got you. I got 2 more, and then I'll holler at you. He sat down for the cut.
They said you only work.
I don't know where you at, bro, but from 9 to 6, plenty time for me, bro. That's it. 6 o'clock. I'm not staying. After that, don't get me wrong. I've worked past 6. At one point, I was working till 12 o'clock. At one point, I ain't at that point no more. If you want me after 6, hey, the price doubles. Yeah, I've done that before. I've worked on a Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 in the morning. I've done that on multiple occasions. Multiple occasions. But anyway, so buddy sit down, take them 2 haircuts. And in my mind, I've already decided.
He said, don't bite my hair.
Bro. When I'm starting to talk, when I talk about stuff that annoys me, bro, you get that Chicago out of me. Like, that's where Chicago come from, bro. In real life. Like, you annoy me, yeah, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. And not saying you, situation we talking about. So boom, he sit down, them 2 hairs come, and I made up in my mind, I'm charging you after hours to cut your hair. Period. 1, you already owe me for the haircut that you 36 minutes late for. You well past that 10-minute grace period. So regardless of what happens, you owe me for that haircut. 2, you have the audacity to have an attitude after you came in late like you did, as though you did nothing wrong, or like I'm obligated to service you somehow because you was 36 minutes late. So I let them know, like, hey, bro, so look, this how we gonna do this. It's 6 o'clock. I'm ready to go home. I'm tired. My after hours is what it is. You got the option to pay that, and get your hair cut, or you could just pay me what you owe me and rebook for another day. You don't want to do neither. I'm cool with that too, because I'm really, you know, it's at a point where if you try to stiff me on that cut, keep it, bro. You need it not do, so go find somebody else, but you won't sit in this shit. Matter of fact, you won't come in this barbershop no more. So it's up to you. Those are your choices, what you want to do. And needless to say, he paid me and then I blocked him, bro. So it is what it is. Yeah, he paid me.
So did he get in the
hair, and then that was the last time I cut his hair. I blocked him.
Okay. Tank, I'm curious. Tank, what's your hours, man? I'm just curious. I'm like you, man. I get to the point just with the family time. I put in a lot of hours over the years. So on my book sheet, my last appointment is 4:30.
I was just speaking to DJ. Go ahead, bro.
My last appointment is 4:30, and then what I do, I have regulars, you know what I'm saying, that have standing appointments or whatever after hour cuts, but I ain't in the shop all day and all night no more, man. I just, you know, I started to realize, man, time is just too important, man. That's something you don't get back. I'm there during hours. I make sure that I make it work for my clients. They're able to get in, but I ain't there all day, man. I mean all night. I jump up early and get it cracking. 10 to 8
Monday through Thursday, 8 to 8 Friday, and 8 to 3 Saturday. You a good one. I'm straight. You ain't giving me that long.
You a bad boy, Tank. Hey, Tank be chopping.
Tank be chopping. Hey, but if that work for you,
Tank be chopping.
Respect to you, bro. Like I said, I used to cut like that, but at this, where I am in my career, where I am in my life, not even my career, where I am in my life, I have a lot of things that's as important to me as my career. I have a lot of things that I have to do. It's a lot of things. I got a lot of irons in the fire. I got a lot of stuff. And then in addition to what I have to do is things that I want to do. 6 o'clock, peace. I'm gone, bro. If you want me staying after 6, it's going to cost you some grief. I market myself as a 24/7 barber because I'll come in on my off day. I'll come before opening hours. I'll come in after closing hours. And I'll come in on Sundays. But it's going to cost you some grief, my boy. It's not going to be regular price. No. And I do house calls. But I'm not coming to your house to cut your hair at the price that I get paid to do it at the shop. Absolutely not. No.
Right. I was going to ask Tank. He said he's been wanting to cut back for content and family. That was the biggest thing for me.
Absolutely.
Being a family man. Like, I started to realize. And if you gone all the time, that starts to really, that can put a monkey wrench in your household.
My brother said we run a bank of hours, homie. Running a bank of hours, for real. And like you said, bro, that's what made me cut back, because I started to really acknowledge how much time I was depriving my family. How much time I was depriving my family and how much time I was depriving of me. Like, don't get it twisted. Barbering is one of them industries where you can lose yourself in your attempt to be accommodating to your clientele, to your business. You will lose yourself. You'll look up one day and you'll be miserable because you're trying to do everything to put everybody ahead of you. You're trying to accommodate everybody else. You're trying to accommodate your clients. You're trying to accommodate social media. You're trying to accommodate the ever-changing industry. But at some point, you got to make it has to be a balancing act. What's beneficial for business, but also not at a cost of my sanity. If it costs me my peace,
absolutely,
fuck out of here. I'm not doing it.
And the cost of family, because like making sure you there to get your baby girl, you know, spending some quality time, getting your baby girl to bed. for me, man, because for so long, like I talked about working a full-time job and cutting, you know, it was certain things that I missed. And I was in the house cutting, like in my barber shop in the garage area. But at the same time, you're there, but you're not there. You know what I mean? And it got to a point like, man, I'm willing to sacrifice some money for a peace of mind and sanity and happiness in my household. My wife deserves, you know, she deserves that time. And so I ain't willing to be in the shop all night chasing all the money, because I can't get all the money.
And you know what's crazy? I'm watching people post their hours. Like, you got DJ Cuddy say 5:30 to 6 p.m. on Thursdays, 5 to 7 on Friday, and Saturday 4:30 to 4 p.m. You got Pink Barbie say Tuesday 10 to 7, Wednesday 9 to 6, Thursday 12 to 7, Friday 10 to 7, and Saturday 9 to 5. My question is this, right? It seems like everybody had their hours based around their life, right? You've taken barbering and you've made it fit and work around your life, things that you have. I'm assuming that most people on here got family, most people have children, pets, or you have a lot of people a lot of times have other businesses that they have to, you know, nurture and tend to. So my question in the comments, put down your top 3 reasons your hours are custom, because these are custom hours. I'm not seeing nobody say it's 9 to 6 Monday through Friday. I ain't seen that from nobody. Everybody got specific days, specific hours. So put down your top 3 reasons your hours are what they are. And I want to know that from you, Osh, because I know you got a brigade at the crib, bro. So I know you got to get home, my boy.
Hey, and she just brought a plate, so we live. Look, live today.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
So like for me, Shy. So I'll go on my books. It's 8 to 4:30. I'll go in. I'll start cutting at 7:30. I'm open to cut at 7:30, but I don't put it on the books. I have somebody that wants to come in. I do a half an hour lunch. I'm typically out of there by like for instance, today is the day I try to get out early because of the podcast. It allowed me to get home, come and cut the grass, do things I need to do, right? Then tomorrow I'll be there till about probably 6:30, even though I say 8 to 4:30. I'll be there till about 6:30. The same happened on Friday, and then I start taking my Saturdays off. So when I took the Saturdays off, I created a VIP service where it was a you know, extra price. They come in, you know, you get the facial steam and massage and the hot towel and the hair wash and the enhancements, the beverage of your choice, all those things. And what that starts to do, I do that twice a month, and that made up for, you know, Saturdays. Me, like I said, man, it was just a time thing. And now, you know, being empty nest because all of our kids grown. So I'm like, I can't leave the wife at home by herself all the time, sitting there upset. You know, I got to give her, you know, we done raise these kids, so I got to give her time because she ain't chasing money. We good. God has blessed us, you know, bills get paid, you know, with things that we enjoy doing, traveling. And so, you know, I got a lot of people in these last 3 years, man, people start dropping off and passing, and you really start understanding that, man, today is here and tomorrow's not promised. And then about a year ago, and I'll probably go in depth in that sometime, but my mom got ill, bro. And about a year ago, when we had to fly out to Arizona, and that really put some shit in perspective for me. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, look, that money will be there because I could open my books 7 days a week and they'd be back. You know what I'm saying? People want from you what they want from you. I just had to scale back. And the crazy part, when I scaled back, it seemed to have created a larger demand.
it should though. When you
know
scale
what
back,
I'm
it
saying?
should create a larger demand because you're reducing the amount of hours that you're available to service the amount of clientele that you have. So if you have 100
Right.
clients, but you have 6 days to service 100 clients, you have this time frame. But if you scale days back to 4 days and you still got 100 clients, well, yeah, you gonna book out all 4 of them days because you've reduced the time that you've made available to them same 100.
But I mean, even from people who weren't clients. So like in regards to people willing to pay an extra ticket, you know, so you might have a set price, but for people wanting to get in the door, you know, it kind of hit home when we would go, you know, we go to the shows and they say every year you should be willing to go up on your price and lose up to, you know, 10, you know, to 20% of your clientele. Like, it started to make sense.
You look, you jumped on that thing, you jumped on the slab and rolled right into that one. I got a question, bro. So here's a question. You cut on appointment, right? Okay. Everybody in the live, if you cut appointment, primary appointment. I know it's a lot of people that do both, right? But if you cut appointments priority, I want you to put a P, capital P, down in the comments. Capital P down in the comments. If you cut by appointments as priority or appointments only, put a capital P down in the comments. And I'm gonna load this question up for you. The question is this, bro. Now, you and I both, we cut appointments. You cut walk-ins still too, right? You don't cut walk-ins at all?
No.
Okay. So I cut appointments and walk-ins, right? Was there a time where you were cutting appointments and walk-ins? Okay, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Is it unrealistic? Is it reaching? Right? To think. Roll with me on this. What dude say? I need you to roll with me on this one. Roll with me on this one. Now, a barbershop is established to be a barbering service for people looking for that service, right? Traditionally, a barbershop was appointment light. Appointments is kind of a newer concept in bar, right? You rolling with me on that. I need you to roll with me on this one, right? Even said so. Back in the day, they used to have the ticket system on the line, right? Where you put your name down, you clip it to the line. The next walk-in come in. Whoever name is in front of the line, that's who take that walk-in, and you take the clip down and you move it to the back of the line, right? That was the first integration of appointments, right? Right. So boom. If the barbering business, as far as barbershops, the way you build clientele is as a barbershop owner, you want to have appointments come in, right? I'm seeing a trend now where the barbers who are coming to work in the barbershop are building their clientele on appointment apps. So they're cutting appointments only. It's getting to the point where walk-ins, there's not saying that there's no place or no space for walk-ins, but the window of opportunity for a walk-in is becoming significantly reduced if you don't have a barber in your shop that cuts walk-ins only, right? Question I pose is this. Is it unrealistic to charge more for walk-ins than you do for your appointments?
That's a good question. Because I've always looked at it like this. I look at it the opposite way because of the convenience. You have a time, you come in there, you get in, get out, and you get to 10, you know, to your business. So I've always thought that appointments, because of the convenience, would bring a greater ticket than somebody who walked in and had to sit and wait and just kind of get in where they fit in. But that's a good question. especially
exactly
don't
right.
do
So
walk-in.
in the barber life, he said that's why you have a shop price. So my question is this, and that's my brother, by the way. That's my brother from another mother, if you don't know. That is my brother from another mother. So the question is this, and also understand that I know you understand business. Be it that you have a shop price, right? A set price for walk-in, because traditionally a shop price is to stop the confusion of all the other barbers charging different prices for their services, right? You may have 7 barbers in a shop, all booking through different booking apps, or the same booking app, but they all charge 7 different prices. So when a walk-in come in, instead of having him go and ask 7 different barbers what their price points are, and him going with who's best fitting for him, look up on the wall, all the barbers in the shop agree to cut walk-ins at that price. You don't charge a walk-in what you charge your appointments. You charge them the shop price. So what I'm asking is, would it be unreasonable for the walk-in price to be more than the appointment price? Because 2 things happen at that, if we approach it that way, right? And this is in my mind. The first thing that happens is it immediately incentivizes that walk-in to become an appointment booking client, because they're going to save money booking appointments, and it's going to condition them to be better stewards of their time. Because unfortunately, if you're a booked barber, it's going to be difficult to find time to fit walk-ins in every day, especially if you book back to back. You're already dealing with late, no call, no shows, and da 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 da. In most cases, we're getting walk-ins in when we have a gap. We got a no call, no show, and we squeezing them in. We kind of flying through the service to get them in and out. But it's hard to give a walk-in the same experience that you give a appointment client if no one is missing, if you're just squeezing them in the gap, right? So the first thing raising a walk-in price does is it incentivizes that person to book appointments, because when they see the price, they're like, damn, that's how much y'all haircuts cost here? Actually, no. That's how much our haircuts cost here when you don't have an appointment. However, you can book an appointment. It's a lot more of a convenience for your time, and it's also going to help us to prepare to provide you the best service possible and save you money, right? So it's going to immediately incentivize them to book appointments. The second thing it does is, if you do have to squeeze a walk-in in, you don't have that feeling, because I know newer barbers, right? When they go to shops that charge less than what they charge for their appointments for walk-ins, and they have to do a walk-in, you get to that point where they start turning their back on walk-ins because they don't want to receive less money for work that they're doing, right? So if the walk-ins are being charged more than appointments, now you incentivize the barbers to cut more walk-ins, which may also incentivize the barbers to do more marketing for the shop, because it brings more walk-ins in. These are my thoughts, right? This is why I just dump all this information, brother. These are my thoughts. How do you feel? How do y'all feel about
that? I would like to hear some feedback from some of the people, because that makes sense. I ain't never looked at it like that.
Say, when I first switched to the shop, I cut walk-ins and appointments, but my walk-ins became my clients, as they should. As they should. Let's see. Here's a question. Has anyone noticed walk-ins are usually looking for cheap cuts and don't want to pay you your experience and time you're giving them? Absolutely. But if you put that price what it is for the shop, ain't no choice. It don't matter what your price point is. This is what we're charging in this shop. So you can either pay that price and continue to be a walk-in, or you can come and book with me and you can pay this booking price, save yourself a few dollars, and you can be on the books sufficiently for good. But also, that's why your portfolio is so important. That's why I constantly tell people, take pictures, take videos. Your portfolio is immensely important, because a walk-in don't know you from Instagram and most they don't know you. They've never seen your service. They've never seen what you're capable of. So let's say your shop price is $60 or $50. They come in and up the street, they charge you $30. The only thing that's going to separate your value at 60 versus the shop down the street's value at 30 is your portfolio. You need to be able to show me. You need to be able to provide me what you are capable of versus what I can get down the street for $20 less, right?
Extremely important.
What else?
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, if they sit in my chair, they're gonna come back client anyway. But see, we cut from the same blood, so that's how I feel. If you get in my chair, the first thing pop through my mind, and I'm not making this up.
Right.
If you sit in my chair, the first thing that pops in my mind is that Dave Chappelle sound clip. Got you, bitch, because you ain't going nowhere. I got you. Once I put these clippers on you and I get to talking to you and how you doing, what's going on, what's your family like, you new to the city, and I hit you with this cut. Got you, bitch. You ain't going nowhere, bro. You coming back.
Right.
You coming back. For sure.
No doubt. But that, I never thought of that. That might be a nice little
I think so.
market.
I mean, and then you got to think about it like this. Nobody else is doing it. Most people, I'm willing to go out on a limb and say 90% because I don't know the whole world. But I'm going to say that 90% of barbershops are charging less for walk-ins than they do for appointments. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that.
No doubt. That's without question.
I just added you, Tate.
And just so much has changed, you know, with the pandemic and how people, you know, look. So,
what's good
in the building? What's up, bro?
What's good, man? What's good? Y'all doing all right?
Hey, congratulations on being a finalist, man.
Words right out of my mouth. Definitely, big congratulations to that, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want you to know I'm working my way to that tank. Wait. Hey, I'm working my way to that tank, bro.
Feel you.
So chime in, bro. How you feel about that, man? What's your perspectives on that?
So I understand, you know, the way you said it makes a lot of sense. You know, we've never thought about it like that, at least not in the shop I'm in. And the reason why is I'm going to break it down a little bit from the perspective of the shop that I'm at. So basically, you know, we pay our booth rent. So each barber in the shop has their own pricing, right? So the way I do it, because I'm appointment only. And I say appointment only because it's very hard to get in my chair if you don't have an appointment. I mean, yes, I will have slots available, but sometimes when those slots are available, I'm like, oh, I got to run to the bank. I got to run to the post office. I got to do this. I have things to do in those slots. So that's why I tell people I'm appointment only. But there will be times where I have gaps and people walk in. So this is just me, and this is what I do and what we do at the shop. And it can vary from different shop to shop, but I'm just giving a different point of view, you know, just so people can hear it all. But basically, the way we do is we have a shop price, which is $30 coming in at 30. You know, when you walk in, that's what the haircut's going to start off at, regardless if you're walking an appointment. It's going to start at 30. So when people call the shop, they always ask, like, how much are appointments or how much is a haircut? Like, it starts at 30, and each barber's prices are different. So me, for instance, I charge 60. So what I do is, if I have time and I see there's walk-ins coming in, and if everyone's cutting, and I always ask the newer barbers, because we have 2 new barbers, I'll be like, hey, do y'all have time after that? If y'all do, so y'all can get this person. And if they don't, then I'll be like, all right, I'll slide them in. Let me get them in for the 30, because I'm just sitting around anyways. So I get them in, and I just lace them up. I'm like, yeah, you know, we've been here. Just give them a little bit of background information of the shop. And I'm like, every barber has their own price. And I tell them, like, normally with me, this is the price. But since you walked in, I'm taking care of you, it's only going to be the 30 this time. I said, and I let them know, like, I'm, you know, me and like 2 other guys were really hard to get in with unless you make an appointment. I said, so if you don't, you're going to be walking in and waiting on one of the other guys, and, you know, you're going to have to sit there and wait. I said, but if you wanted to book appointments, and I send them all the information. We have a website, send them the information. I'm like, you can pick whichever barber you want. And every barber has different prices, so you can pick what works best for you. And I know a lot of people tell me, they're like, well, you're devaluing yourself because you're cutting at a cheaper price. And I'm like, well, no. I said, what I'm doing is I'm helping the shop. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting people know that we can still walk into this shop and still get a haircut. Because a lot of times let's be honest, man. When people come in and everyone's booked up and they want to walk in, the clients leave with a bad taste in their mouth, right? So it's we still try to make it work. We still try to. So we try to let them know that yes, you can walk in, but appointments are going to have priority. So you may come in and wait 2-3 hours. You may come in and go straight to the chair, and that's just what we do. You know, and I let them know, like, this is my price. If you want to book with me, you go to this website or this app, and this is basically me. Like, I'm introducing you to the shop game. I'm letting you know how everyone works, and you know, like, I can charge them my price, but the thing is, a lot of times, like, I think it was someone said it earlier that a lot of walk-ins are looking for that cheaper price point. So that's why I charge them that, and I let them know, if you do want to be my client, it's gonna come with this price tag on it. And if you don't, that's perfectly fine. There's other barbers in here that can do what you need for the 30 or whatever. And that's just, you know, how we do it.
I think that's how we do it, right? That's exactly what I do on my show. And I think also a big part of that has to be acknowledged, that as the owner, you have to take that. You have to absorb that workload sometimes, because if the other barbers in the shop, like you said, are busy with their appointments, everybody got a head in the chair. Even if you had a head in your chair, it's all of our responsibility to communicate, or it should be all of our responsibility to communicate with that walk-in, to say, hey, how you doing? Do you have an appointment? If you don't, somebody will be with you in a second. And once that minute has gone by, as the owner, you always are keeping eyes on the situation.
On everything, yeah.
Okay, and nobody coming up, I'm going to be done first. So let me first, like you said, I love what you said. First, let me ask my newer guy who's building his clientele. Hey, bro, how many you got after the head? You booked? What about you, bro? You booked too? Okay, look, I have another one coming, but I may have a few minutes to get you in. What you getting done with your head? Now you're initiating that conversation with that walk-in, because at the end of the day, whether that walk-in sits in my chair or any other chair in the shop, we keeping it in-house. Yeah. We do here. But the reason I say I think that we would benefit more business-wise if we charge more for walk-ins versus appointments is because you do have those people who will sit in your chair, pay the $30 for the walk-in price, catch your whole vibe, understand what your price is going forward, but they'll continue to come in as a walk-in because what you see from everybody else, they've established in their minds, at $30, I'll wait, right? Yeah. And then you open up the opportunity for them to come in on that Saturday, right? And everybody's booked the whole Saturday, and they sit there for 2-3 hours, and no one's able to get them. You got somewhere you gotta be. They got somewhere they gotta be. No one's able to get them. Now it's like, no matter what you've done for them prior to that Saturday,
you're a bad guy.
It goes out the window because that Saturday they needed you, you weren't, right? And what happens is when people, I heard someone say, people rarely tell you about good experiences, but they can't wait to tell you about a bad one, right? So what they do is they'll go and word of mouth travels faster than any advertisement you can do. They'll go and communicate to the next barbershop or to the next person, man, I went to such and such and such and such, and they don't cut walk-ins. It won't be nothing else that happened with the actual facts. It'll be they don't cut walk-ins. So they ain't never trying to cut me.
And
so,
go ahead.
So I got a question. How many barbers
there's 6 of us. Yeah, we got a small shop, man. It ain't nothing too crazy.
So for us, in my shop, it's so difficult because it's me and my son, and then we have a loctician. So smaller town. I'm born and raised here. So of course my son is born and raised here. You know, you become popular, so you fill everything up. So as much as I would like to be able to get walk-ins in, you know what I mean? Because we're in a university town, and we're on the bus line. We're not too far from the University of Illinois, but it becomes very difficult. But we have also been blessed to, you know, word of mouth and just marketing and promoting to get people to go to the Booksy app. But it's just so difficult. And then one of the things that we talked about on here plenty of times is that just new barbers like my son, is coming to the game with the whole appointment-based thing with Booksy and the cut and things like that. So his mindset is, look, if I don't have an appointment, you know what I mean, then I'm not going to come in early and wait for a walk-in, you know, or I'm not going to stay later waiting for a walk-in.
That's funny, man, that you say that, because I see that a lot, even with like the way I see it, man, is it's so different now, because I remember when I got in the game, and I even preached this on my Instagram and on my YouTube, man, I would be one of the first barbers in the shop, and I would stay as late as possible. And I said that on your episodes before, and it's crazy because now, like you said, the barbers are spoiled now because of Booksy, and most clients do go to an app first, look online before they walk into a shop. But you still have them few clients that will walk in because they Googled it and like, oh, this shop opens at 9. I'm just gonna pull up right at 9 and see if I can, get in before the rush gets in. So I understand, both sides of the situation, and it's funny because we have 2 new barbers, like I said, and one of them, he's there every day, like at 9 o'clock, every day, bro. Whether he has a haircut appointment or not, every day at 9. The other one, he's there when he has his first appointment, and they're so different. And I tried talking to both of them. We have talked to both of them, and they both have different ideas of how they want to run their business, which is totally fine. You're your own person. You can run your barber business however you want. But one of them is more like, well, I only want these type of clients. This, like, I didn't like cutting his hair because of this, so I really don't want him as a client.
Right.
Which, when you're a barber, you can pick and choose who you want to cut, because I do that now that I've been doing this for so long. And the other guy, he's like, shit, money's money, bro. Like, I'll cut everybody. And I told him, I said, bro, I said, you know what? Like, I didn't mean to disrespect, which the other barber may have took it as slight disrespect, or I wasn't giving him his praise. But I told him, I said, hey, like, you keep that attitude up, bro. Like, you're going to be great, like, real soon. Really soon, bro. Like, you are.
Yeah. But I think that's good advice, though, because that money mentality, as I'm sure all of us can attest to, money is money mentality is a double-edged sword.
It is.
You can get very advanced in what you're doing with approaching it that way, because you tap into that hustler's mindset where I'm staying into the last head, period. It don't matter what's going on. And you can also shift the balance and burn yourself out real fast like that.
Yeah, you can.
Real.
That's actually what happened to me. Because like I said, man, I've been doing this for so long. And after, like, I want to say a year, man, maybe 8 or 9. I don't remember what year it was, but I was done with barbering, bro. I was like, I don't know if I talked about this on y'all's podcast, but I ended up, I got my certificate in personal training. This is back in the day. Like, I was in shape, 6-pack. Like, I was hitting it, getting hard. And I got my certificate in personal training.
Right.
We opened up a gym, and I was trying to stop barbering to do more of the gym stuff because I was burnt out on cutting hair, because I was doing, like, this is before I was even on social media with my hair cutting. Like, this is just still going off of my old ways of thinking, And man, I got so burnt out, bro. I had to step away from it for a little bit. And then it's crazy because back full circle, and now I love doing what I do more now than I ever have. And I'm still doing it the way I like to do it. And I never get burnt out anymore. Like, yeah, I'm working a little longer than y'all are, but I still feel that I have my downtime. I can still spend time with the fam and whatnot, so your mentality changes the more you do it. And I think, like you said, if you have the right mindset about it, like knowing, like, all right, maybe I shouldn't be doing this for so long because I'm going to get burnt out long enough. Or if you take little breaks and stuff like that, it helps, give you a little reset. That way you can get back to it and stay at it.
The only issue that I have with the younger barber mindset is that we came from an era where you pay your dues, because we provide a service for the communities that we're in. And so now you'll get young barbers, nope, I don't cut kids, that type of thing. And kids, young boys grow up to be men, and the cycle, continues, right? And so just knowing how we came in, and I think, you come in and at first it's like, man, you want to, you have to get to that point where you have to get to the point where you're getting to that money, seeing what the industry can provide, where it can take, you know, before a true respect for it.
Hold on. Hey,
As if you
background.
What is that?
just echo
You got something
in the back.
you got us hooked up to a speaker. Let me find out we're in the big speaker in AJ crib. But I brought AJ on because he said something that was speaking to what y'all was saying. He was saying let him on so that he can give a perspective from a young barber's perspective. If you're still on here, AJ, whenever you get your sound together, hit that request again, bro, so we can bring you back on. I would love to hear the perspective from a younger barber's, point of view.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I got a lot going on, but go ahead, Ash. My bad, bro.
You know, I was just saying I don't necessarily like that point of view, because then you have, like, I'm to the point, I'll take kids, it don't matter, because I provide a service for a community that I'm born and raised in. And it's a service to people. You know what I mean? And so I remember how I got to the point where I'm booked up all the time. I had to crawl before I walk. You know what I mean? And so I just that part of the game, for me, makes me respect what I do even more, because it allows you to see that progress of where you started from to where you've been able to ascend to.
Can I play devil's advocate for us? Okay. So
Absolutely.
Playing devil's advocate. I'm 36 years old, but I came in the barbering industry very much part of the new generation. Say that, right? I haven't been barbering with YouTube brothers at all. And I admire barbers who've been around the industry for longevity, right? I admire that. I think that part of that, you have to earn your keep kind of mentality, as well as you have to cut kids, because the kids today are your future clientele and things like that. I feel like personally, right, while I have a 50-50 opinion about it, right, I believe it 50% because yes, those kids will develop a relationship with you, barber, and yes, those families. When you get to a point in barbering where people are bringing their whole family to you, I think that's what makes a successful barber in my mind, right? Because people are comfortable enough with the service that you provide that they want their whole family to come to you, right? That means that you're doing something right. Let's put it right there, right? But I also believe that the newer generation has a perspective that isn't being valued by the old school traditionalist barber, in the sense that social media and the ability to control your growth from a very first person perspective is not valued enough from the traditionalist barber. The way that you had to build your clientele back then, while it still works now, not the only option available to you as a barber. Barbers now, they take that position, well, I'm not cutting kids, because even if you're a young or old barber, cutting kids, but certain kids, can be a stressful situation. I've seen barbers walk away from barbering just off cutting kids, right? Well, in today's generation of barbering and marketing yourself, you can still build your clientele and not cut kids. Like, not cut a kid for the rest of your barbering career if you want to, and still be as successful as a barber who cut them.
I agree, man. That's a good way of putting it out there. And I think you have to have knowledge of both the new and older generation. Like if you can see it from both angles, you'll understand it more. Like we have a guy in the shop. not even on social media, and he's real old school minded. Like, you know, like you have to be in the shop, you have to do this and this to build. This is the only way you're gonna build. Da, 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 da. And I did that, and I did build from there. However, this was back when I was charging $10, $15 a haircut. So now with social media, I got people coming paying me, you know, top tier prices, and it's not from staying in the shop late, coming in early. No, it's from what I've been doing on social media, right? So you can do both or one or the other, whatever you choose. And to each his own. That's why I say, man, like if you don't like, that's why I tell both barbers, like, hey, if you don't want him as a client, hey, that's perfectly fine. Me personally, I would have got him and did whatever, you know, but you don't have to. That's the beauty of being a barber. You're your own, you know, you manage your business how you want. If you don't want to cut that person no more, hey, more power to you, man. But at the same time, you got to understand that consequences come with that also. If you decide to not cut kids, then back to school,
Right.
you may not be booked. You may not be cutting all day when, you know,
Right.
back to school comes. So
let me play devil's advocate on my end. So now, Shy, as the shop owner, and you know, we talk about reputation, right? And how your shop is perceived. How does that fit in there when you have a young barber? You know, say if you had, you know, 6 barbers and it's, you know, 2 old school barbers, you know, a middle-aged barber, and then, you know, 3 young barbers. And none of the 3 young barbers want to cut young kids, but they're in your shop. And so you have people who are coming in now and they're trying to be service. And now you might have people booked or have their schedule been doing a little longer, and you have barbers that refuse to cut young kids. Now, as a shop owner, how do you deal with that?
No, I was just gonna say that I was gonna jump off, man. I was gonna let y'all talk. I got some stuff I gotta handle downstairs. I just wanted to get on and talk to y'all a little bit, man.
Jumping on every time you come on, bro. It's always appreciated. Thank you so much, bro.
Hey, but you make sure you answer that question, man. He had a good question for you.
I am.
I appreciate y'all.
Hey, and we gonna link, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Here before we know it. Okay.
So the way I see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
First, I have to pay attention and watch and see if these are barbers who don't have, they're not building their clients. Their clients aren't building, right? They just electing to not cut kids because they don't want to cut kids. I would have a conversation with them. Why? You know, why don't you want to cut kids? Once I get an understanding of why, now we approach it and understand what we can do, what I can do as an owner, as a leader of what's going on in the shop to kind of, you know, bridge that gap. If it's just coming from a perspective of, well, you can't charge enough for kids, well, I can teach you how to charge more for kids because I charge as much for kids as I do for adults. So I can teach you how to charge more for kids. Coming from a perspective of, I don't like cutting kids because it's too difficult. It's like trying to cut a moving target. We can figure out. There's a few things that determine what type of kid you get to cut. While you can't 100% control what type of kids you get to cut, you can definitely minimize more difficult haircuts from kids, and it's all according to how you approach your business. Now, this is something that I've done myself. I've done the research. I've cut everything from 1-year-olds to I've done it over the span of these years I've been in barbering. So I have a very, very, very intimate understanding on how to change and shift clients. Ultimately, though, it's not my position, be it shop owner or not, to dictate who and how you cut hair. However, I do reserve the right to let you know that what you're doing and how you're operating your business doesn't fit within the parameters of what the identity of the shop is. And if you just one of them barbers that just don't want to do it because you Hollywood or don't want to do it because it's beneath you, that's not the energy that we putting out in this shop. You don't fit that, then at the end of the day, it ain't about a kid no more. It's about you. You know?
Right. No doubt. no doubt. And so that's where I think that the mix of, like, you know, the sweet thing, and I understand that, because there are so many different ways now to build a clientele. And so now I just, you know, it definitely has to be an understanding of both ways. But to run a shop, I think the mindset always has to be, when you're coming and you're willing to work in somebody's shop, even if you consider, well, I'm an independent contractor, the name in lights, because that's the reputation that, you know, we're all standing for. Everybody may have their own agendas to certain degrees, and, you know, you want to see people elevate and do their own things and find their own spaces, but respect, you know, what you bring to the table, what you've opened, and
because
what
everybody that comes in your shop, whether new or old, experienced or inexperienced, building or built, they offer a unique perspective on things to be done to forward the progress of business, and they also offer perspective on things that we should avoid. Because watch somebody that's a bad barber or somebody that has bad business practices and understand that those are things I need to avoid, or those are things that I need to be aware of that I wasn't aware of prior. So when the next person comes in to fill that spot, I'm aware of things to look out for, right? And I like Barbara Pink Barbie's question down here, or her comment. It was I feel like social media teaches new barbers they can come out of school charging crazy prices, but they don't have the skill set to charge the prices yet. I agree with you in a sense, because, again, being devil's advocate, but just the uniqueness on how I entered the barbering thing. I was one of them. I was charging. If I told you what I was charging in barber school without a license, you'd be like, you bullshitting, because I was definitely taxing in barber school. But I think social media has made barbering so transparent to so many people interested in barbering that you no longer have to be an established member of the barber community to understand the value of a barber, if that makes sense. Nor do you have to cut hair to understand the value of a good haircut. Social media made that.
Absolutely.
Like right now, right? I've never contracted a day in my life, right? Ever. I've never been a contractor a day in my life. I've never laid a piece of wood down on nobody's house. I can't tell you what yardage is. You tell me to get a ruler, kiss my ass, right? Giving me the ability to be able to find out what the value of a contractor is, to find out what the different positions, the foreman is, the worker, the laborer. I can find out what their values are. I can find out what their job titles are, what the descriptions of their job are. I can portray the image of information that I'm giving, regurgitated to you, and you would know the difference.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Yes, it's interesting, and I have mad respect for the young barbers, and I love what they're doing, because I truly believe that they're the reason that this industry has went to that next level. Because I consider it the golden era, you know what I'm saying, of barbering. And so I love the changes and everything ain't like it was yesteryear. You know, and you're able to take a ceiling off of it, and that's the beautiful thing, because 10 years ago I would have never imagined that barbering would be where it's at right now. You know what I mean? And that you would have all these platforms and you would have all these choices to do things that you're doing. You know what I mean?
And like you said, be it that we live in a generation that we are, the opportunities that's afforded to barbers due to the outcome of social media, due to the impact of social media, all of us should be grateful for it first. But I think it's always gonna have that divide between people, because it's immensely powerful, bro. Like Barbara Pink Barbie was speaking on. She's speaking on that video of it's going viral. It's been going viral for a while. Lady Barbara with the dress with the slit all the way up past her waist.
The one you showed?
Thirst trap city. 1000% is thirst trap, right? that video, it just, again, it demonstrated the power that each individual has in this industry. No matter how people agree or disagree with your approach in yourself, your approach, no matter what you feel about it, can generate exactly what you want. And while the attention that you seek may not be what you want or what you thought you wanted, that video is viral. All it took was for that. And if you watch the video, she not cutting no hair. This was a thirst trap, sexualized video all day long. It just, but she was an actual barber, because we all, get close. We all see barbers on social media who are actual barbers who use sexualized videos to market themselves. Now, a lot of say you ain't never seen one, because I know you just, I didn't see them. We also all know companies that sexualize women to sell their products into the barbering industry too. Now, a lot of tell me you ain't seen it, because I see it. I know y'all have seen it. But boom. If it's working to market what it is, that if it's generating traffic and filtering dollars towards their business, who am I to sit behind my phone and see it, and because I don't agree with it personally, ridicule their attempt to market their company, their business? It's working for them. So while I don't agree with it personally, you ain't gonna never see me on here with no dress slick showing my tail, no hair. But I have to have a nod of acknowledgement that their willingness to sexualize their product, themselves, or their services is working for them. That's how with social media.
Absolutely. So a million ways to get it done, and the truth of the matter is, hell, sex will sell when popcorn and peanuts won't.
They sex will sell with water, ain't telling.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
when you go to the barber show, when you go to like Bronner's, and you go to the stylist booths, pay attention to what they wearing. Pay attention to the advertisement. When you go into the beauty supply store, pay attention to the person that they have selling the product, right?
Better than that, bro. At Bronner Brothers, had you ever paid attention? Certain booths will have a group of girls in little skimpy clothes walking around signs. You know what I'm saying? Attracting attention, and you know, I'm looking like, damn, like.
Listen, Sarah. Okay. Well, Gucci Daddy shows, because I've been working these ladies out. You gonna see them. You don't see them, okay? You are going to see them. These knees is out in the barbershop. I got them right now. Knees out, okay? Yeah, the little, I ain't even gonna describe them, because describing them is gonna sound worse than the name for them. Like, it's exactly what you're imagining in your mind.
Right. You ain't gotta tell me that my son be having them little shorts on. I told him he be coming in showing thigh meat.
Sit above the knee. This is 2023. Them shorts are hot. This ain't the Allen Iverson days. I don't want my shorts down past my calves no more. I need them above my knee.
Yeah. You thigh meat.
Man. But look, I think we done had a dope live. We in the fourth quarter of this game. I'm finna watch this fourth quarter, man. And by the way,
yes, sir.
The hell out of I did not see this coming, bro.
Look, my wife fixed me a salad, and she fixed me a homemade pizza. Can't have cheese, boy. I was over here dipping in and out, so I apologize, but I appreciate it. I had to get my eat on.
So look, this has been the I Cut My Way Out podcast. If you are not already following us, please go right up there, click that little arrow pointing down, drop Follow the I Cut My Way Out
Absolutely.
podcast and make sure you turn on post notifications. You will be notified every time we go live. We go live every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is where you are because
Absolutely.
I didn't read a map. So you know. But we here every
Right.
Wednesday night. We also make this platform available for up-and-coming inspiring barbers and beauty industry professionals who are willing and ready to be transparent. Share their story. Talk to us. Let us know what you're going through in the industry. What things are you seeing? What trends are you seeing in the industry? Or if you just want to get on here and politic with us, we with that too. I'm a barber. This is the brains behind the operation down here below. That's Ash the Barber, Ray Knox. How many more names you got?
Yes,
How many
sir.
more accolade names you got, man?
I'm just
Ash
Ash
the
the Barber.
Barber. Well, that's Ash the Barber down brains behind the operation. So we always show our gratitude and appreciation for you putting this whole thing together for us. And this has been a great episode, man. We had a lot of great discussions. Really, we've put out some information in this live that might change the scope of the barbering industry if it's applied. That's what we do every Wednesday, baby. We blessing with jewels. We put jewels out there to you.
No doubt.
So yeah, man. Definitely.
Everybody jumping in, following us, hit the follow button, subscribe to the content on YouTube, man. Just keep rocking with us. We're going to do this every Wednesday. Greatly appreciate y'all. Appreciate you. As always, and enjoy that game. I'm
Bro,
watching
they
too.
getting demolished. I don't even want to look at my bets, but we ain't even going to talk about that, bro. I'm going to holler at you, bro. I'm going to holler at you.